Alright, so this will be the second and hopefully final video of the water challenge. Now, if you didn't see the first video, this has been a really challenging piece of wood to carve. It's just so old and it's so cracked, pieces fall off. You can see here, this crack right here. Well, this would be it's like his cloak, and then this would be like a band around his hand come out of, but this broke off, this piece right here, so it is what it is. If you saw the first video, I had that top piece, all the cracks, I put super glue in there. So, but what I'm going to do now is I think I got it sanded the best I want to sand it. I've decided that I'm gonna burn this whole piece and paint it with some colors, with some black and I was just talking to Larry Dibbs. You saw the video, he said dark green. Well, look, Larry, I got about a quarter of a can here, so I'll mix up the two colors, black and dark green. But yeah, I'm gonna burn it with my little hand torch so I can manage the cracks here. But then once I get all here burnt and all inside here and stuff, I'll take it outside, pull out my big torch, and then burn it quickly with the big torch. But it's been a really challenging piece of wood for me to carve. Okay, so I'll film when I'm taking it outside and burning it outside. I still got a shit ton of work to do, but you can see there that super glue. Anyways. This is a tiger torch, it's for roofing, okay? Alright, it's good. Look how dark it is here. It's going to start pissing. It's raining right now. But even here, where the cracks are, I burn it deeper. You might as well try and open up those cracks by the burning it. It will just make it look cooler if you're going for that look, right? Anyways, it's burnt pretty deep. So you can see here how it's charred. Now I got to get this inside. Oh, I got it into the tent. Just in the nick of time, starting to piss down rain. So there's some deep burn in that sucker. You don't want to burn away your details like this collar, but if you do, you do. Whoa, I burned that deep. Oh, one thing I gotta do, so you got one, oh, I gotta burn that deeper. I gotta hollow out a little bit in here so it looks like this hand is separate, like, because, well, it just needs to be hollowed out here. With my die grinder, dig a hole. Alright, so I dug a little hole in here a little bit deeper so it looks like it's separated. Now, oh, I'm going to sneeze. It's kind of cold out here. This is a ready rod with two nuts on the back, with a washer and a nut on the front. And this is Scotch Brite. I usually use the brown M3 stuff, but I bought this stuff on Amazon to give it a try. It's a little bit cheaper, so yeah, this is the dirtiest job by all means for anything I do chainsaw carving. You know, after you burn it, you can't use sandpaper, or the sandpaper will just sand away all the grains and make them all flat. This makes it when you use this, it elevates the grains, so you get the lighter spots and the darker spots. But I probably won't do it that much because, well, I am going to paint this, I think. So anyways, this is a PVC pipe, so you can hold it when it's spinning. Just hold the PVC pipe. I can hardly see out of my glasses. So I'll finish this up and I'll be back. So you see what I mean about it being a dirty job? It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. All right, we got to paint it in there. Let's dry it up quicker. On, baby, burn! Roof on fire! Ah! Winter's around the corner. Give you a full 360 of this. So yeah, I don't think I remember what I was going to say. Where's that tattoo ink? Now this, I'm keeping this piece. I know where it's going to go on my house. But this tattoo ink, this is Viking green. Anytime I learned this from Bap over at I Can Carve. He lives in Belfast. He's just working. He doesn't do YouTube anymore. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, a year actually. But Spike talks to him. But this stuff doesn't. This stuff is supposed to go in your skin, and the sun is not supposed to fade it. So this stuff in the sun does not fade from the sun. Now I got to find a jar to mix them up in. And I got a little sprayer that I'll pull out. Anyways, here it is, Viking. See the bottom there? Viking ink. This is the green it is, so it's a fairly dark green. It's kind of light. Mix it up. They say to wait 20 minutes when you mix stuff up so the pigments of the color can get mixed with the water. So, but let's do a test piece. We got a piece of wood here. Let's just do a little test here. Well, it's a little bit bright, but it will darken up once it dries. I think I'll dump some more of the green out, and well, I'll put more water in it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll fill the rest up with water. I don't want it to be that bright. Not much. More diluted. Okay, you guys see my trench? This? It's working great. No water's getting in my tent yet. This year anyways. Okay, so this is what I got. I got an extra one. So it's let me blow it off. Fuck. I think it's made by Badger. So you see there's a little air thing there. It's not an air gun, it's a sprayer, okay? It's not an air gun. What's the fucking name? God damn. So this isn't an airbrush, it's just a little painter, okay? So you can see it's got a little lid thing there. So you can buy those cans of compressed air. But it comes with this stuff too. But so I think Badger makes this. I bought these on Amazon or eBay. They're pretty cheap. And it's part number 250-2. Basic spray gun set. So that's what you get. And all your instructions. So where's mine? Here's mine here. I got all this cable. And it's right here. So I put the green in there and start painting. Can't even tell it's green. So I think it's safe to say, since I diluted it so much, the more that you put on one area, the greener it's going to be when it dries. You can see it's kind of green. See that green there? Anyways, see that green really come out? This is a great little sprayer, but you got to be careful when you buy this. You get the right hose attachments. There's an adapter there. Don't ask me what that adapter is, but yeah, that's a little adapter right here where my finger is, right there. Carry on, look at it, it's green. Man, my toes are frozen right now. So you can't really see the green in it in the front. But remember, it's wet. When it dries, it'll be brighter. So you think like this, you can see it green right here. You think like this, you know, if you're gonna do it green, am I gonna give this a clear coat? Because if I do give it a clear coat, it's going to go dark like this. Maybe not as dark, so you might not even see the green in there. Maybe a little bit on the back, but the front. And you know what? I'm completely fine with that. Let me get the torch out and heat this up a bit and dry it up a bit. It is pissing. Man, I'm a good ditch digger. Yep, it's just not coming in yet. Maybe I gotta dig it a little bit in here. Well, it looks green to me. Just looks like kind of, let's see, kind of like a mossy green. Oh, I like it. So you can see there where it's still wet down there. You can't really see the green, but when it's dry, and I didn't do this thing here. You can see it's down there. I didn't do it either. I think it's good. Now, to put the light in. Actually, let's see the round back here. Maybe I should get my heater. See, look at that color green. Perfect. Yeah, I'm happy with that. See how cool the cracks are too? Anyways, so I got those yellow dots on here because this is where I'm going to have a light. Now, I bought this on Amazon. I think it was $10. This is a salt lamp light. It's got the smaller bulbs. I think the smaller bulbs are E12s or something. I don't know. You have to look it up. But this is the smaller bulb. It's also got a dimmer switch on it too. So I need to drill a deep enough hole. How deep is it? Well, it's not that far. It's far enough, trust me. But I got to drill a deep enough hole and wide enough to be able to get this in there. And then the cord will hang off the back. I don't care about that. So you can see there the light is in, and this is where I show you what I did a month beforehand. Stained glass, old school. I bought this off this set off Amazon. I tried to go my best to go with earthy colors. So I do have some stained glass tools. There's a glass cutter. There's another different style glass cutter. I did stained glass before I started wood carving a bit. And trust me, there's some stained glass plier things, snapper things. I'm not very good with stained glass. I'll be the first to admit that. I haven't used it that much. I have the tools. I saved the tools. But on this one, I'm going to try my best. Here's me cutting the stained glass. That's a special stained glass ruler thing. Just kind of figuring out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. After using the ruler, I'm like, why do I need to use the ruler to cut and break all this stained glass? So I finally stopped using the ruler. I just started cutting it, and oh boy, yeah, this took me a long time. And stained glass sometimes is not as easy as it looks, especially when you're trying to do what I'm trying to do. And I'm not saying that like I'm a pro because I did it, but I'm pretty proud of myself. There's all the pieces. Now this is a stained glass. When you have the piece, there's like a little diamond wheel on there, and it sands the edges. I got it from my old girlfriend years back before I started carving. You sand the edges of the stained glass that's broken. You have to sand the edges because if you don't, well, I don't know if you have to. I thought I had to. If you don't sand the edges, you got to do copper foil around there, and it's the copper foil sticks better if you sand the edges, I think. And that's just my opinion. I don't care if you're a professional stained glass worker. I just get shit done. Now that's mineral spirits. So I thought I'd sit outside in the sun and clean up all these pieces with mineral spirits before I did the copper foil. Well, mineral spirits I found out has oil in it. So this really didn't, I thought that was a nice shot anyways, a nice summer day. Mineral spirits has oil in it. So I had to clean the bits off with paint thinner again after. So that was a waste of time. And look at me taking a whiff of the mineral spirits, looking over to see if my neighbors see. I thought I'd throw that in there I didn't like that orange color. There's some pieces. There's lots of pieces. I had to cut lots more later. This is a tin foiling machine thing I bought years back. Wasted money. It doesn't work good for me. Maybe it works good for some people once you get used to it, but I don't like it. So that's copper foil that you see there. It's sticky on one side and it sticks to the stained glass, and you have to make it perfect so it wraps around each side of the stained glass. So you see there how it sticks? And well, it just didn't work that good for me, so you'll see what I'm going to do in a second here. Yeah. Yeah, now take it off, screw the thing. There's the copper foil. And I'm just doing them, all the pieces manually. Man, it takes a long time. It would be nice to find an older lady or a lady that likes to do this, watch TV and tape the copper foil things. You have to get it on there good, because if you don't, when you solder it, it's gonna peel up. Trust me. Yep, this is very, 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 in my opinion, time consuming. And that's like a smudger. You push it, the copper foil down around all the edges, make it sticky on there good. Anyways, this is when I was like, so that's a piece of wood shape. I cut that shape for this on purpose. Now I want to make it so like I figured out how to hang the copper foil and do it better. I want to make it so I have a round shape, just like an alien kind of face. And that's why the head is so big on my Watcher Challenge, because I had this. Here's the solder. and flux and a heat gun. You know, this is when you burn yourself lots. Yep, this is when you put some tunes on and just try and do the best. Now, you can see there I'm soldering an old, I learned, my dad showed me soldering years back a bit, but I figured out after, this was tricky to do. Trust me, it was tricky to do. Nothing, it's a round shape, nothing's perfect. These pieces aren't cut to fit. I just fit them as I go. After I figured things out, then each bit I would solder around each bit first, then place it. See, I'm starting to figure it out now. That loose piece didn't have solder on it yet. I always got to learn the hard way. So here I am. There I'm soldering it first, all around it, then putting the piece in. Like, for somebody that does solder this stained glass often, might be an easy project for them. But for me, go ahead. Get some stained glass stuff. Give it a try. Shout out to Ben's Studio on Lake. So there it is. Some of it done. Now you got big gaps you have to fill in with the solder too. And those big gaps are not easy to fill in. Trust me. Here's another angle of it. So here's more I had to do. And I solder all these ones first. Right here, here's an example. Boom, boom, boom. Put your flex on it. You guys have to have flex for the solder. Put your flex on it. Solder them all up. It's all done and a lot easier. This took a lot of work. Took a lot of work. But here it is. 3 or 4 days, solid days this thing took to make. What do you think about that? Stained glass. Think it's all right? Now, I gotta find a way to fasten this. I made this light, so it's removable. Okay? I'll get an LED light for this. But I made it so I can just shove it in there, and I got it taped in the back so I know where to stop. I think I should get an LED light in here, because this is not an LED light. This light heats up, and you don't want this solder to melt. So I think what I'm going to do to fasten this is get some black caulking, caulk around the edge, lay it down, and let it sit and cure for a couple days. Lay it out. Lay it in. Oh boy. This took so much work, especially when you're not a stained glass person. Oh, a lot of work. Yep. It's heavy too. Okay, I got a good coat of polyurethane around there. I put it on here, and I put it on the base too. So now I gotta let it sit and dry for a few days, and I'll come back, or I'll put a tarp over this. I'll wheel it away, and maybe I'll come back and carve a tree with the roots wrapping around a wood spirit or something. I'm not too sure, but I gotta let this dry for a couple days. All right. It is now about a week later, and I'm sure that glue is dry. The polymer caulking, yeah, it is. Some right here. Now, let's stand this up. This dolly hydraulic jack lowers super slow. And here's a loud plane. Now, it's getting colder in here, and I'm going to need to use my propane heater, that black one. But I've been looking around for it for the last half an hour, and I just can't seem to find it. Maybe somebody took it. So let's get this thing stood up here. Okay. So we'll give you the 360. The mask, yeah, I know the head is a lot bigger than the body, and I want it to be like that, kind of like an alien type shape. So you can see the mask is sunk in there good. A lot of depth in there. Let's look at the back. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so you guys know there's always a curve in Fusion. We got something else to put in this piece, so let's just get on with it and get her done. I think this hand needs to be holding something, don't you? I do. So in the hand, I drilled this hole here with a Forester bit. For all you that don't know what Forester bits are, here's one here. They're really handy to have for when you get into chainsaw carvings. You need to drill big holes. They're good to have for removing wood when you want to do a planters. Just keep on doing it in different spots, then you can chip out, bang out the wood. So these are handy to have for sure. Forester bits. They're like spade bits, but stronger. And now I'll paint inside that hole with some black paint. So lots of you will ask, what's going inside that hole, Jordy? What did you carve for inside that hole? Well, I made this. This is the skull of death surrounded by crystals. I formed it with epoxy. And here's a special shout out to my good friend Spike. My watcher needs to have a skull of death because we're all human and we can't avoid death. So the skull of death is always there with the watcher. Yep, it sure is. Some people will ask, why is that hole there, Jordy? Well, I tell you what, let's do one more carving Fusion upgrade. Now this is the same piece of wood, but I just carved the eyebrow ridge lines on and I epoxy sculpt the nose. You can see there's a mirror there. I happen to go around to the thrift stores looking for different mirrors and stuff like that, so I can cut them up and do the same thing as the stained glass. But I happen to remember when my son was living with me, he gave me this antique box he bought at the thrift store of these glass tiles and its mirror. And I think this stuff, you can tell by the cover, I believe these are from the 70s. So I did get that from them like half a year ago. Here they are. You can see how it looks like it's kind of cracked. I was like, perfect. I even messaged my son and told him I'm going to be using it. Now, the foil that I had to use this, I had to buy more foil for the soldering that had the silver backing, not the copper backing, because the copper backing would reflect off the mirror. So, and I've left lots of cracks in this for, well, you guys will see. It's this took me another 3 days to do too. Now here's a piece of copper. I already did some soldering around the edge because I have to solder it to the back of the mask. Why I wanted to solder the copper piece to the back of the mask, because there's going to be a light coming through it to show through the cracks through the mirrors, and I didn't want the light to overlight the background of the piece. So here I am. I put some flux on it, and I'm doing some soldering here now. Just sloppy stuff, just getting shit done. Okay. So I already had that piece of copper cupped to the shape of the mask. I put the mask on it before and cut around it. Here I am putting the mask on the piece. Perfect. Now I'll solder the mask to the copper piece. And I thought, well, since there's going to be lighting in there, I don't want you to be able to see the copper, so I got silver paint and painted it silver. Hello! Hi there! My watcher needs to have the reflection of the human race. To always reflect back down to earth to make sure everything's going okay for the humans. So here's my finished watcher piece in the daylight, everybody. I put the owl beside it just because, well, I can. That stained glass work sure took a lot of work, and I'm happy to be able to get it done. Here I am wrapping up for the day. I'm going to come back later when it's dark out and do the Carving Fusion Grand Finale. Don't forget your coffee, Jordy. Carving Fusion Grand Finale coming up. You know what? Fuck this nonsense. This was made by a human. This was made by a human. And this was made by a human. 3 different carvers that were human, 3 different places, 3 different times. All made by human. Now you guys can see here exactly how it lights up. Through these 2 videos, guys, I showed you guys and I tried to give some tips on how to do yours. Sorry for the interruption, but if you look at the shadow of the mirror face, look at the side there, the lighting. It looks like a man's face, a side view. Isn't that cool? Ooh, they're made. Now, I'm going to go on a little rant here, and this is my opinion, and I'm sticking my opinion, and I'll never, ever change my opinion. I'm not selling out to the whole AI bullshit. Actually, it's not bullshit. I believe we're in a very big change. The biggest time for mankind ever is upon us right now with this AI. So many people are making their videos using the AI, and I ask myself, do I want to get into doing AI and stuff with my videos? Absolutely fucking not. I do not. I want to be known for Jordy, the heavy hands carver. I want to be known for a carver that's not very good, but I want to be known for a carver that gives people ideas. Challenge yourself. Try harder. The more you do, the better you're going to get. That's who I want to be known for. I want to be known for Jordy, the original. Heavy hands, original. Shit your pants, original. I don't want to be known for a fake. Okay? I'm gonna clarify that very clear. I will never sell out to AI as long as I have the opportunity not to. Because my belief, and this is my belief, sooner or later, we're not going to have a choice. We're going to have to use AI. And sooner or later, like I'm giving my opinion right now, sooner or later, we're not going to be able to give our opinions. Now, are we? Now, all those other creators, carvers, world explorers, scuba divers, friggin' skydivers, they can use the AI all they want. But for myself, not a fucking chance. I promise all my subscribers, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to stay in my lane. Some other wood carvers are trying to cut me off in my lane over and over and over and over again. But guess what? I'm still driving. I'm still driving. Even though they're trying to cut me off, I'm still driving. I'm still Jordy. I'm still in my bubble. And the more that I make videos, the more I'm staying in my own lane and avoiding everything else. Side note, Susan, I loved your Watcher Challenge. You did a fantastic job. And actually, I thought you did a fantastic job of the AI. I liked watching your carvings come to life. Back to AI. Fuck it. I'm not down with it. And channel that I support is right here. You guys want to know something? I'm going to tell you a simple fact about me. Do you know why I'm such good friends and I support Just Carve Rob so much? Can you guess why? Watch Just Carve Rob's videos. Do you think he spends 100 hours trying to edit them so they're perfect? No, he doesn't. But Just Carve Rob gets his point across. How to wood carve. Fuck all this other bullshit. I ain't down with it. I'm down with Jordy Johnson at Carving Fusion that fucks shit up all the time. I'm into fucking swearing. I'm into supporting Just Carve Rob. I'm into supporting anybody that wants to try and teach people how to wood carve. Not all that other bullshit. And I'm not saying any names. That's enough of that. Back to the program.
Hi everybody, I'd just like to say thanks for the support for PD, the shop inspector. It's lonely out here without her. And I'd like to say thanks to everybody that has helped out, chipped in, sent prayers. I appreciate it like you would not believe. So stay safe, just carve, and we'll catch you on the next one. And thank you. Thank you very much. What are you carving today, Rob? Well, I've been carving these gnomes, or these elves. Elves, 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 more elves, splat elves. Got a girl splat elf now. We got guys splat elves.
Now, I want to take a few more minutes here of your guys' time. Sorry, but I want to thank my long-time subscribers, and I want to thank my new subscribers as well. Time's sure flying by. Now, I can't lie about the mirror face I did on the Watcher Challenge. I talked to my son about it, like I said, and he's the one that gave me the idea. He said, "Hey, Dad, well, when you do it, you can tell a story. You can say, it's from the day of your injury, the day you fell off the roof, the day you had the accident, your life was broken. But as the years have gone by, you've glued them back together." So that's kind of what that resembles. Now this piece is going to be outside my yard this spring and summer. Now this piece will remind me, what will this piece remind me? When I see the reflections of the mirror on the fence, it will remind me to always stay loyal, always stay true, never sell out, and watch out for those deadly snakes in the grass. Sometimes they're your best friends. That's when it really hurts. Just